Hello and welcome to Matt Houlihan's podcast on SoundCloud. Now, I want to just start by saying it's not easy being an actor in 2018, or being an artist in general, or a self-employed person, or someone who's just trying to find work whatever way they can, because there's so many now aspects of the work that you didn't expect when you signed up. You might be a great dancer, but how are you going to advertise yourself unless you have regular employers who want to get in touch with you? This is the question that so many people are faced with. There's the sphere of artistic skills that you spend years learning and you're still working on. And then there's the sphere of business skills, which you are thrust into, expected to develop and learn all of these constantly updating forms of advertising for yourself online in the world of the gig economy, etc. For instance, I'm looking on YouTube, and a lot of actors want to write their own stuff because they're not getting necessarily cast in things, but they are creating their own work that suits their casting or whatever they want to use to show themselves off to potential employers or potential audiences online. I looked up the need for YouTube channels, regular updates on YouTube channels, regular ways of advertising to new audiences on YouTube channels. There's a whole science to it. There's tons of people who are putting up videos explaining tutorials how to find the correct words that people search in search engines. There's Google AdWords and things like that. It feels complex, especially if you're not inclined towards that business world. Now, I can complain about it, and believe me, I have. But ultimately, what we need to do is to carry on and try. Until such a time comes when we change the equation and it becomes less of a wild goose chase or a searching for a needle in a haystack. There's so much to learn, and I'm still trying to work out and understand the AdWords concept and all of the other stuff of transcribing the contents of your YouTube video and finding the right thumbnail and updating your membership. You have to pay for everything to get the right thumbnail photo that you want. So that's customized. All of these things. And I don't know, honestly, because YouTube can monetize your channel if you get a large enough viewership and you just happen to be the right thing at the right time. But I don't know how useful it can be in furthering a career. And I hear constantly that people have said, they've been at auditions and the auditioners have asked the auditionees, how many Twitter followers do you have? How many Instagram followers do you have? Like, that really matters. But of course, to them, it's hard numbers. They expect the entire viewership to look over at this person, see they're in this TV series or film and think, that's money to them. And I've seen Liza Koshy, who is she became famous through YouTube and through Vine for her facial expressions, doing silly little skits and things. Then I saw her in a Tyler Perry movie. Small part, but obviously that's an aspect of it. Otherwise, what do? Do you just keep sending blind emails and letters to casting directors and producers? You try and develop a sort of artificial rapport with them. You try to keep in touch. You could try to have a conversation going. The whole thing is a construct. It's like you're trying to build a bridge in the air. So it's an interesting debate and conversation to be had, I think. And I think it's an interesting thing to start my podcast chat series with. I would love to hear your views, your opinions, your take on it. And I know that there's a sort of conversation between those who really are quite upset and down, I suppose, and those who say you shouldn't be down, you should change your mentality, you need to be positive thinking constantly all the time. And I honestly think there has to be a balance struck between those two extremes. We're human beings, we're not positive creation machines, and we should aspire to not be depressed all the time. So it has to be a compassionate approach, and an approach which works for human beings in a healthy way, as a job, as a career path, as an industry. So let me know your thoughts. This is the first of many.